gonna get this right eventually.
Wetsuit
The wetsuit jackets is just the top. We have jellyfish intermittently. Yesterday we actually had a man of war sting. That is like winning the lottery twice, kind of a thing. We have moon jellyfish around us all the time. We have a little white vinegar or something that hits you. We're just gonna put a little vinegar on it. Don't rub it. So if you feel a itch, don't rub it. Come to the boat, we'll pour a little white vinegar on it. It'll go away. You're good to go. If you have a little blue line on it, well, then it's crazy for 2 man of war hits to happen in back-to-back days. Where we're going, we haven't seen any. We were there this morning, so we should be good. My name is Joel. I'll be your captain today. This is Brandon, another captain. We're going to go ahead. We're missing a few people, but we'll just catch them up when we go so we can go. We've got Aaron up here, and somewhere around here is a gal, Heather. She started with us today. Make an appearance, Heather. Stick your hand up. That's Heather.
Hello.
So she started with us today. We're going to go about 35 minutes out to a place called Western Sambo is where we're going to go. They're having Goliath grouper here recently. The reason I'm telling you this is because I'm a diver. Normally you got to go to about 80 feet to actually find a Goliath grouper. We don't know why. They're coming up. They're juveniles. They're only about 70 to 100 pounds, the ones that we're seeing, and these are babies. Okay, but if the babies are there, very possible we can get a much bigger Goliath grouper. When I say bigger, we're talking in the neighborhood of 600 to 700 pounds.
Like
so,
the size of
yeah, the biggest one we've seen is about 200 pounds. That's my size, and that was 2 weeks ago. We had the cold front. It seems like the little bit bigger ones moved off, but the smaller ones have moved back up. This is a treat. So we're going to get as much mileage out of these bad boys while they show up as we can get, so people can actually see these Goliath grouper without having to dive to 80 feet and scuba dive to see them. They're as curious about us as we are them. So if you give them plenty of room, if you see one, please tell the other guests, tell Heather or Aaron, whoever's going to be in the water, where they're at, so everybody can kind of see these, okay? They're a serious treat. We don't get to see them very often. So again, my name is Joel. We got to go through a couple of things. One is we are U.S. Coast Guard inspected vessel. This inspected vessel has 52 life jackets on it. They're all up the middle. You can't miss them. They're in ropes overhead, and that's way more than we need for us today. There's three fire extinguishers. There's one up on the steering helm. There's one down in the cabin, in the very front and the bow, and there's one back by the engine hatch. We have 2 first aid kits. One's down by the first aid kit, by the fire extinguisher. I'm gonna get this right, yeah. By the fire extinguisher down in the cabin, and the other one's up in the steering helm. In the event that there is a fire, we have all kinds of Coast Guard inspected everything. This boat is 3 months old, so you're not going to get on a boat much more current with the Coast Guard than this boat right now, as it is.
What type of boat are we on, Joe?
This is a 46-foot Newton Snorkelling Special excursion boat. Are you from Slidell?
Do what?
You wouldn't have to be from Slidell, Louisiana, are you?
I grew up very close to there.
We're familiar with that area. Yeah.
Are you still there?
No.
Okay.
My family is. My family is like that.
Okay.
You were just there.
Yeah.
Random.
Yeah, Brandon and I and 2 other guys actually brought the boat down like 3 months ago.
Okay.
It took us 3.5 days to float her down here. We kind of love it.
Nice.
We have VHF radios. We have one that's fixed up on the helm, and Brandon has one. I have handhelds as well. And we're gonna, like I said, we're gonna go about 35 minutes out to Western Sambo. We talked about sharks. We talked about barracudas. Okay, we see them on every single trip. Everybody talks about the barracudas. I do not take off anything shiny that I'm wearing. Well, I take off my rain glasses, but I don't take anything off. Okay, I've been in the water down here in the Keys for over 30 years, and I've never heard of the mythical barracudas hitting shiny things such as jewelry, necklaces, earrings, any of that. If you don't want to take that chance, by all means, take it off. Spare yourself the whatever. I don't, and all the commercial divers I know do not. They wear their Key West dog tags. They wear necklaces, their wedding rings, bracelets, watches. They don't care. And if you don't look like a sick, dead, dying fish, neither do the barracuda. The sharks are absolutely here. The nurse shark is what we normally see the most. They have a very blunt head. They're kind of brownish in color. They have a fairly large tail for their body. You would have to swim down and stick your hand inside their mouth quite a ways back to get bit by a nurse shark. So please do not be worried about a nurse shark. It's one of the few sharks that actually lay on the bottom, water capacity to their gills, and they can breathe that way. They don't have to be moving. If they are moving, don't worry about them. They're not coming to get you. As far as other sharks, yes, there are other sharks. How often do we see them? Very rarely. Okay. just know that they are in the water. You're in the ocean. If I tell you there's no sharks, I just lied to you and everybody else did it. They tell you the same thing, right? So again, I'm in the water all the time. I do not care about shark. If I see a shark in the water, I'm going to it. I'm not going away from it because I want to see what the shark is. So I'm no different than you. I'm sure I taste no different. So we're all human and we would all taste the same to a shark, and I'm not afraid of them in any way, shape, or form. I love that they're here. They're our friends. Yes, they are.
I know.
So I guess,
I'm gonna get them on. I'll hang down here a little bit more.
how big is that party order? This?
There's a party of 7.
Well, we will keep you out a little bit later. We'll make up for this time if we actually pull out a little bit later. We won't short you on that.